look at that and charge you like wow.
Okay, imagine the scenario. At home, you have a glass. It falls on the ground, it breaks. What do you do? Think back how this glass actually got into your hands in the first place. Could be a gift. Yeah, but this gift came, where did it come from? It actually came from a shop. And where did all this come from? It actually went across the seas, all the way to another part of the world. Maybe for us, it's in China, made in China.
Japan,
yeah.
It's
and inside this factory, every single cup is the same. You see? So the special gift, the gift that you thought was special, was actually one of a million. Now think about what happens if you have a 3D printer now. You can actually search for designs that other people have done, download it, modify it, maybe add a handle to it. And this is very important. You upload it so that other people can also have the same design. And then now, you just take the soft copy of the design file, go to your nearest hardware shop, and the shop owner can just help you print it. There you go. You have a new glass with a handle that would not fall off when the train goes by. Now let's fast forward into the future. And this time round is a double-decker train. So even with the handle, the glass still falls off the handle, the hook. Okay? But this could be what we could do in the future. You can scan it, send the details of this up to someone else across the world. The person can help you to analyze it and see what it is made of. Okay? And you send back the data to you, and then you take a look at it and you say, well, I want it to be stronger, I want to have more metal into it. Okay? And once again, once you have modified it, you share it back to the world. And this time round, with new materials, you can actually just buy the materials. So now you have super glass, super metal. Same thing, go to your nearest fab shop or even at home. Now you can own a printer at home and make your own things. So what if you're hungry? Well, you can actually print some food. Okay? This might be 3-year-old. This was like in the future, but I tell you, that is already happening now. We can actually print food. So your glass will no longer break. But look at what happens now. Now it's only the data that is sent across the world. In fact, it can send up into the space as well.
I look at this, my first impression is Psychopath.
So the idea of this 3D printing is that you can now have a factory in your home. And what are you actually transporting across the world? It's no longer made in China. It's now going to be made in Malaysia, made in Penang, made in your home. Because you can actually own a printer like this that I have here. You can own something like that. And you can make your own stuff at home. Okay? So what is actually transported is no longer the physical object. It's no longer the glass, it's no longer the toy parts, it's no longer the toy, it's not made in China and then shipped all the way across the world to you. Rather, what is transmitted is the data. It's the model, the design of the toy, design of the cup, and it's sent through the internet into your homes that you can download, you can modify it, and you can upload it back. And then you can print it. So for this talk, I'm going to talk a bit about this 3D printing for your home and tell you what exactly is this 3D printing. Okay? I think some of you have actually saw our booth over there. We have actually printed quite a few things. I couldn't bring that printer up because it's printing something. Okay? So I'm just going to talk a bit about what is this 3D printing about from a home consumer's perspective. Why a home consumer? Because in the industry, we already have 3D printing for the past 30 years, 30. It's a very old technology, but the question is, why is it only coming into our homes now? So what I'm going to talk about, what is it, how does it work, and why do we need it? I think from the earlier video you saw why we need it, right? And I'm going to show a few more examples later. So what exactly is it? Technical term is additive manufacturing. It adds stuff, okay? It adds on. Just now, if you have seen on booth how the Stormtrooper head was printed, okay? It squeezes out the plastic, melts it, okay, and goes layer by layer, until we have the Stormtrooper head. So that is additive manufacturing, okay? So it works like an inkjet printer, as I mentioned, and it actually started 30 years back. Okay, but why is it only coming into our homes now? It's because of the patent system. Because of the patent system, all this technology was very expensive for you and me. Okay, but because the patent has expired now, we can actually own a printer. Okay, a printer at home. So how does it work? There's a difference between additive and subtractive. One is you add it, okay? You just add layer by layer by layer until you get the object itself. So what about subtractive? I think some of you saw the props that the cosplayers were using, right? You do cutting, you use a piece of styrofoam, you cut it out, right? You paint it, things like that. That is actually subtractive. Because you start off from a big piece of maybe your styrofoam board, your polystyrene, okay? And then you cut off what you do not want, right? You remove what you do not want until you get the shape of what you want. So that is subtractive. Okay, some terms that I'll be going through: SLA, SLS, FDM. Okay, SLA and SLS are very industrial methods for 3D printing, and FDM, this is an FDM printer. The two printers out there, you can see they are FDM printers. How do they work? SLA uses laser. It points to a liquid and it cures it, hardens it, okay, and it becomes whatever you want. SLS also uses laser, but it points at powder. Okay, powder, it clumps the powder together and it hardens it. And then finally, FDM, our 3D printer here. What does it do? It squeezes out the plastic. Okay, it goes layer by layer. Okay. So why do we need it? Earlier on, you saw the video. And these are some of the things that can be printed. Some examples, like this baby here. Okay, this baby, he has asthma. Okay, but then when you have asthma, you need medication, right? So for a baby, you need a medication taken through the mask. But then because this baby, the face is very small, so the mask is a bit too big for him. So the medication actually escapes. So what did the father do? The father actually designed a mask. Okay, design a mask that fits the baby's face. Okay, so 3D printers can actually change or even save lives. So what else can be printed? I think some of you also saw the chess pieces. You can actually design your own toys. You can design your chess pieces, you can design whatever you want. You can get it printed using a printing service. Okay? And then of course chocolate. You can actually print chocolate. If you do not want to print the plastic, you can actually change what we call the nozzle, change it to something cold, and then you squeeze out chocolate instead of your plastic. And then finally, earlier on the video showed you printing food, right? I'm going to show you printing of pizza. Okay? Okay, this is a printer. It's actually printing a pizza. Okay, this printer looks exactly like the one that you saw there, the red color one. Okay. It actually has a heated bed, means that it's hot. So when it's hot, you can actually bake your pizza, right? So you can squeeze out the pizza material, squeeze out your cheese, squeeze out your tomato, and then you can print a pizza. This printer is going up into International Space Station this year, so that the astronauts up there can print their own food. Yeah? So this is a pizza printing printer.
Can eat one?
So how do you get into 3D printing? If you want to do more about 3D printing, you want to learn more about 3D printing, what you can do is go and learn how to model. Okay, you can use modeling software, free modeling software. In fact, the ones that we are teaching is called SketchUp. You can download it, you can just practice on your own, you can learn from YouTube videos.
SketchUp is Google though.
Learn to model something.
SketchUp is from Google. Google SketchUp.
Okay, but once you have your designs, what you want to do is to get it printed. You either get your own 3D printer at home, or you can actually send to a 3D printing service. Get your designs printed. Okay? Of course, if you want to learn more, much more about 3D printing, you can actually build your own 3D printer. There's this project called RAP, R-E-P. Okay, you can go search for it. In this project, all the design files for 3D printers are up there. Meaning that someone has designed a printer, he has built it, he has put the design files up there for people to download, to build, to improve on, to modify. And then people will upload it again. Right? So there are a lot of printers up there that you can actually build, just like this printer here. Okay, this is actually from a printer kit. You can buy it in kit form, and then you assemble it yourself. Okay, you can build your own 3D printer. Okay. So now I'm going to show a bit about how the 3D printer, the whole process works. I think earlier on over there, I was actually printing something. So I had a customer came in, she wanted her name printed. So what I did was to actually type out the name. And then I can just press print. Yeah? This is a very simple software, it's typed to that printer. I have a Wi-Fi box over there, so I'm accessing it. I can actually print it from here if I wanted to. Okay? But usually, this one is a simple software. So you can just doodle anything, you just draw whatever you want. Okay? So you have only very simple designs. But if you wanted something more complicated, you can actually use this SketchUp software. Okay, it's free, and you can make your own designs. The same person, same name, you can make your own designs. Okay. After that, what happens is that the model actually goes through what we call the slicing software. Yeah. So this slicing software, you saw the model just now, right? This slicing software, what it does is it cuts it up into layers. Many layers, and this is what the printer actually understands. It goes up layer by layer, until the whole thing is completed. And that is how the whole 3D printing process works. Right? So if you are interested in looking at more 3D printers, you can go ahead and take a look at the booth, look at the printed products, have a feel of it. You can go ahead and touch it, take pictures, whatever you want. Okay? So I thank you for your time. I'll see you at the booth. Thank you.